And we're back, Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG-TV, LOC, Dan Diker. The Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Promoter Chuck Deery, our guest in the program here this evening. Do want to remind you that the programs can be seen now on YouTube.com/Seven Rivers Racing. We've had about 800 views in about 200 weeks, and a lot of folks are very thankful that live out of the area that are watching the program and get a little bit more in touch with some of the drivers, some of the folks we've had on the program. We appreciate those folks tuning in. Also on Facebook/SevenRiversRacing.com. You can find out a lot of the material I use in the program here. I end up transferring onto the Facebook page as well. Before we get into the 2011 schedule with promoter Chuck Deery, I saw a quote that you had during your marketing study back in 2005 that there is a misconception of who the modern race day fans are. And I hear this not only on the local level, but also up to the national level, that there's some stereotyping that's gone on for years that I think we're on the tail end of hearing about.
Yeah, sadly that's out there and stuff, and it still exists, and it's perpetuated by the modern day media as well. But if you were to walk through the grandstands, you would see the diversity of the fans that attend motorsports event, not just lacrosse, but we're just a sliver of the whole picture. But it is a very diverse crowd. We're, like I mentioned before, we're a drive-to destination. A majority of our crowd come within 80 miles of the track. And part of that is the rural folks, the professionals, the blue collar, and it's an equal distribution through all income brackets. And people like to be entertained no matter what you make for a living, right, or what you do for a living. And it does anger me quite a bit, because if someone says that to me, who goes to the races, and what are their thoughts and processes of other people of color or what are, so I take great offense to it, and always have and always will. And a race fan is a race fan. We don't care. And God bless everybody, and I hope they come to the races, because we're a fun sport, and just be part of it.
Well, as we get ready to kick things off here in just a couple of nights, a couple of new things I saw to the schedule. Of course, Saturday night we're going to start things off right off the bat with the Quick Trip NASCAR Late Models, North Country Contractor Sportsman, the United Auto Supply Thunder Stocks, and the Volden Construction Outlaws. Outlaws have been there for quite a while. It's just a different name.
Yeah, we talk about marketing. We used to call them RAYs, and RAY was an acronym for Run All Your Stuff. But if you were to, put that on a radio spot, the Rays, it doesn't sound as meaty as the Outlaws.
Right.
And essentially, an outlaw is a better fit for them, because there is really no rules other than they have to have the safety requirements and run what you brung. And it's a fun class, and it's basically we get a lot of competitors that want to race lacrosse once in a while, but don't fit within our rules, and this gives them an opportunity, if they so choose, to come out and turn some laps and have some fun and be part of our show for that Saturday night we run the Outlaws.
A couple of new races I saw on the schedule this year. One of them I had to bring up on YouTube, so I'm not sure whether you're going to run it the same way as I saw it, is the Australian Pursuit race. That's going to feature, I think, the Hornet cars. From what I saw, the main goal is to pass people, and if you pass people, they're going to get knocked out of the race. Is that going to be pretty much the same rules you're going to have?
It'd be similar. There's many different ways to run that type of race. In the years past, the last car on every lap was knocked off, or we've done it as well as where you, if you get passed, you're out of it. We'll probably do some type of combination of that. There is another race that we may substitute that for, and it's a pursuit race where the leader gets to go any place he wants inside the quarter mile, and the cars have to follow him. But when they're on the racing surface, if he gets past, then that leader can choose where to go and stuff. So you got figure eights and what else is going on, so we'll play with it a little bit and see what kind of response it'll be. But that's just part of the novelty events here. It's not going to be your normal race event, and I always call it the dessert of the race night. You got your racing and but something odd and out of the ordinary, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but most of the time they're just fun.
You have a couple of 2 top dog races this year. What are the top dog races?
Well, that's kind of a pit stop deal where the competitor will have to come in and eat a hot dog and have his crew chief eat a hot dog too, and then once they get them consumed, then off they go. So it should be a lot of fun, and again, just something out of the ordinary, and that's what we're part of. Good family entertainment, and some races that just don't make sense.
How important do you feel NASCAR is to this track? That's got to bring in a lot of fans, knowing that you're one of the only NASCAR tracks in the whole area, and the NASCAR name just it brings in a higher end.
Right. It brings a level of credibility. Not so much for us, because I think we're judged on the show we produce, but it brings a level of credibility to the race teams, that they're part of something big, and NASCAR has requirements. If you're part of NASCAR, that you have some guidelines you have to follow, and by doing so, it just raises the bar for our competitors and for the racetrack where it needs to be here locally. And it's great, and we're very blessed to have NASCAR be interested in us and sanctioning our events. And they do bring a lot to the table on the competitor side for the point funds and the dollars for the competitors at the end of the year. Excuse me. And for us, it's just nice to carry that label. But ultimately, it's a huge benefit for the race teams.
30th year, the Whelen All-American Series will be associated here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, and you'll see the sign behind Al, and a good time to go out and help celebrate that milestone here at the Speedway this year. I also want to mention street drags will be going on second Friday of the month. Got that correct this time. And you can come out, $5 to race, $5 to get in the grandstand, $5 to get in the pits. And I think there's 12 brackets that we run on the Friday nights. Make sure you check out streetdragslax.com for more information there. LaCrosseSpeedway.com to find out the complete schedule. Of course, we'll have the souvenir programs and schedules for you all over the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway coming up on Saturday. Chuck, it's that time of the year to get things going, and we look forward to seeing you out there at the track Saturday.
Well, thank you, and we look forward to another exciting year, and we're going to have some new champions and loads of fun.
All righty, Chuck Deery, the promoter of the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, and again, you'll be seeing him float all over the track for the next 6 months or so here in West Salem. That's going to do it for the program. People have questions for Chuck or for the program. How can they find out more, Al?
They can go to fansarena.com/7riversracingshow.html, and we'll put that at the bottom of the screen again.
And if you did miss the program, tell your friends and family you can check it out, youtube.com/7riversracing. For Chuck Deery and Al Losey, I'm Dan Dyker. Got to save the voice. Racing coming up here in a couple of nights at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. We'll be back next week with more on the racing here in Western Wisconsin on the 7 Rivers Racing Show here on KQEG TV.